So this is going to be a collective message. Remember to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And let's see what Spirit wants to talk about. There's a full moon tonight, so I really want to pull into that energy, like pertaining to like what you need to release for your highest good. Let's see. So we have courage here. As well as doubt. Okay, so I do feel like you're needing to step more into your confidence. Stop questioning yourself and also stop questioning the process. Yeah, you're questioning, and some of you are even afraid to step into some form of happiness or something. It could be out of guilt. Like maybe you're afraid to move towards something or pursue something because of fear of what people will say, not wanting to leave people behind. And I feel like you're seeking the answers to questions that you have pertaining to things that I just mentioned in order for you to feel comfortable enough to move forward. Let me get one more card, Spirit. Yeah, judgment. Yeah, Spirit is saying you need to make a decision. Like, you're not going to know everything before it happens. Like, that's not necessarily the way it works. I do feel like this is pertaining to like using your intuition and your best judgment, like really looking at things face value, really thinking about how you feel. There was something else I was hearing Spirit say. Yeah, because empathy and blame. It just feels like you're afraid to make a step forward because of feeling guilty. Like I said, you're going to feel guilty about leaving somebody behind. With envy coming out on the bottom of the deck, I feel like the people that you may be afraid, or the person or job or something like that, whatever you're afraid of leaving behind, I do feel like they're envious of you, to be honest with you, because there is a chance for forward movement. One thing that I realize, and what I'm also hearing Spirit say, is that when people tend to make you feel guilty about pursuing something that you genuinely feel happy, you really need to look at how that person's life is playing out for them. Because if that person is afraid to make changes, if that person is afraid to like put themselves out there, if that person just wants to settle in life, you can't feel guilty leaving these people behind, because they're choosing not to move forward. They're choosing to remain stagnant. And by you feeling guilty about moving forward, you're ultimately, it's like their energy is taking over your energy, where you're putting yourself in a position of being complacent, stagnancy, unhappiness. It's like you got to really be careful with that, because people really do be throwing their energy on people and making them question themselves. And I feel like the question that you feel is more so your higher self fighting off whatever this person is trying to project onto you. Yeah, acceptance and freedom. So yeah, Spirit is saying you need to accept the fact that you need to set yourself free. You need to let go. You need to move forward. Yeah, failure and blame. Because it's like at this point, if there's a lack of success in your life, it's not going to be anyone else's fault at this point, because you know what you need to do. But you need to step in your power and not be afraid. What I'm also hearing Spirit say is like, do you think like when you was walking for the first time, or when you was like doing anything when you was a child for the first time, that you was afraid? Really think about that. Imagine if a child was afraid to walk, take those first 2 steps because of what could happen. Oh, what if I fall? Like, if you really think about it, I feel like that's the reason why Spirit talks about like healing the inner child, or having that play like energy. Because when you're a child, when you come in this world, you do things without really questioning it. Now, I'm not talking about like the stuff like kids do when that you're not supposed to be doing, but it's just like that spirit of, I'm gonna try something new. So for example, like my child, we went to the library, and when we went to the library, she saw a group of kids. They were playing on some little puppet thing. And instead of her be standoffish and not approach, she walked over there and she was like, hi. And then that's when they was like, hi. And then they was like, do you want to play? And they just struck up a conversation. Now, I'm not saying like that's how you need to approach things in life pertaining to people, because you do have to have your guard. But the fact that she overcame any type of fear or insecurities that she had with herself, that she may have had with herself, to pursue like putting herself out there. And I feel like that's what you need to do. It's like whatever, like, because it's a Two of Swords energy, whatever you're going back and forth about, that's what you need to release. You need to end the fact of you sacrificing yourself for the sake of other people, because you're sacrificing your growth and expansion, your abundance as well, your prosperity, your generational wealth, with you not stepping in your power. And it's almost like I'm hearing Spirit say you're forfeiting your destiny and you don't even really know it, because you're listening or feeling empathetic about people that's purposely trying to keep you back. So it's like you need to end whatever type of indecision that you feel about yourself, or feeling the need to know like what's going to happen. You got to take that chance. You got to make that leap of faith, because if you're basing your decisions on, oh, I'm not going to do anything until I know what's around that corner, then you're always going to be in a space of stagnation, because God is not going to let you know what's going to happen every time. To be honest with you, like sometimes God works like this. God will have you take a step, and then God is seeing whether or not you have faith, you know, because there are people that believe in God, but do you have faith in God to know that you're safe and you're okay? And then sometimes God will have you take a step, but there's things God is clearing out your path. And then they're like, and God is like, okay, take this step. Okay, you made that step. Now God is clearing out certain things in your path. And then God is going to give you the signal, okay, I need you to do something else. It's like there are portals that God opens up for you to walk through. And it's because God has opened up a wormhole, like a portal for you to walk through, pushing away any type of negativity, any type of like entities, anything for you to walk through. And if you miss out on those opportunities, then you end up sticking out and dealing with another karmic lesson or another karmic cycle. So I feel like this is more so of a warning, because there's going to be something that occurs where you're going to have an opportunity. Don't let life pass you by because you're listening to what naysayers have to say. Don't let life pass you by because you feel guilty about leaving people behind. Because if you have that mindset, then you're going to be in a constant state of really lack and unhappiness and feeling unfulfilled. Yeah. Because whoever these group of people or this person or whoever this is to you, it could even be a job trying to convince you to stay, or trying to convince you to be complacent, or making you feel as if, oh, nothing ain't gonna happen, you know, stuff like that. It's like, let me see. Let me get more on this. Yeah, because Spirit is once again saying end the guilt and the worry. But it's like, don't allow people like that to keep you stuck and stagnant, because like misery loves company, and some of these people want to keep you complacent so that you can be, so they got somebody that can sit with them as well. And you got to like really pay attention to stuff like that too. Let me get some last messages, Spirit. Yeah, because look at this. As soon as I grab the deck, there's going to be new opportunities that occurs for you. It could be with love. You could be a single woman. Yeah, but you have to break these habits and these cycles. You could be a single woman, don't have to be. But don't be complacent in life just because of fear. You have to set boundaries with people. You got to drown out the noise. Because if you're wanting to have this peace, step into your dharma, it's going to take you setting boundaries with people and leaving the past in the past. I hope this helps.